What a lovely day to bake. Moin, my name is Arne, German hobby baker who's living in Luxembourg. Today I'm going to show you a sandwich loaf. This has been made with 50% whole grain flour and you're going to love it. The smell is gorgeous and I'm going to show you my process. So let's get started. This is from Luxembourg with Loaf.
The evening before we bake, we refresh our sourdough starter with 50 grams of water, 25 grams of whole grain and 25 grams of wheat flour, the same flours that we're going to use the next day. And then we also add 5 grams of sourdough starter, and then we give it a good stir and let it rest at room temperature on our countertop overnight. And we also prepare a Tangzhong with 10 grams of flour and 50 grams of milk. You put it in a pot at moderate heat and then you stir it until it gets thick. The Tangzhong basically can introduce more hydration in the dough without making it too hard to handle. And it keeps the bread fresh for longer. After the paste is thick enough, we put it in a glass and then we cover it with a plastic wrap and place it in the fridge overnight. You should at least let it rest for a couple of hours. The sourdough starter has really risen overnight, so it's time to prepare our main dough with 225 grams of whole grain flour, 220 grams of wheat flour, the levain that we've prepared, the Tangzhong as well. We need 2 eggs and 200 grams of water, as well as 9 grams of salt and 30 grams of butter. First of all, we crack the eggs in a bowl. Then we add the water and our sourdough starter after stirring the eggs and the water a bit. Stir it a bit and then add the flours. And then we also add the Tangzhong to the dough. It's a little bit sticky. Then try to incorporate the flour and the water as much as you can. And then for the last part, you can also use your hands to make sure everything is incorporated perfectly. I'm wetting my hands a bit because it makes it easier. So once it's been done, cover it with a plastic wrap and wait for 30 minutes. Then it's time to add the salt and the butter to the dough. For this process you can use your hands. But of course, all the steps before you can also do in a kitchen machine if you have. Then make sure that the butter is cold. If you do it by hand, the butter can be at room temperature. Cover it with plastic wrap and wait for 30 minutes. Then it's time to give the dough some tension by using stretch fold techniques. Pull the dough up from one side and move it over to the other sides. After a couple of times you notice that the dough gets more tension. So there's already some gluten development going on. Cover it again and wait for 30 minutes. Then we are doing a lamination. For that, spray some water on your countertop and then dump the dough. Still a little bit sticky. You can also use some olive oil in your bowl that will prevent the dough from sticking to it. Then spread the dough out of your countertop as much as you can. And then roll it up again. Lamination will create a lot of gluten development. It's a perfect technique. Use your hands to form a dough ball and then place it back in the container. Cover it again. And then we wait for 30 minutes. Now it's time to do coil folds. Weten your hands and pull the dough up in the middle and fold it over. Pull the dough up in the middle and then fold it over. And then rotate the bowl and do the same thing again. Then we wait another 30 minutes and do the same thing again. And after that step, the dough should rest for a couple of hours, like 3-4 hours. The dough is ready to be shaped when you see some little bubbles at the side of your container. So I've already prepared the loaf pan with some butter, and then I'm sprinkling some sesame seeds on the sides and on the bottom of the loaf pan. You see that the sesame seeds are sticking to the sides, which is perfect. Then we add some flour to our countertop and then we dump the dough. Then spread the dough a little bit and then fold the sides to the center and then the top to the bottom and roll it up. And then you can use your dough scraper or your hands to get some more attention into the dough. I'm adding a little bit of flour to the top, not too much, and then I place it into the loaf pan. Then I spray some water on it and add some more sesame seeds. Then this goes into the fridge overnight. And the next day I preheated the oven to 250 degrees Celsius, that's 480 degrees Fahrenheit, and I baked the bread with steam for 50 minutes at 210 degrees Celsius, that's 410 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is how the bread looks like after the baking. A little bit brown, but I like this color. It's not burnt yet. If your bread gets too brown, you can cover it with aluminum foil. And I'm now spraying it a little bit with water so the dough or the bread stays a little bit more soft. So let's have a look inside. Let's cut the bread. Wow, the crumb is really lovely. The holes are not too big, perfect for a sandwich loaf. So here are some more impressions. Enjoy and bon appetit.
I hope you enjoyed this video. This is definitely something you should try out at home. If so, please leave me a comment below the video and link me on Instagram. The recipe is simple to make at home and the smell is gorgeous, especially also the brown crust. It's definitely something that you should try. If you want to support me and my work, please like this video, subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next videos. Thanks. I wish you a pleasant day. Eddie and goodbye.